Now what I'm going to sew now is this is the front right panel, or right panel, left panel. This is where the crotch pouch is. This is the crotch. I'm going to be sewing the crotch seam here, the front crotch seam. And then this is where the inner leg gusset will be. So I'm putting these, going to be sewing these with construction with the number 3 lightning bolt stretch stitch. These are going to be right sides together to start with. Now this pattern is different than your typical sport brief or boxer brief. Normally your crotch panel piece will go all the way down to the either the gusset or the back panel, but I want it to be more of a pouch, so I'm having a front seam to here, and then the pouch will be sewn in here. So I need to do this front crotch seam, lining up my fabrics. Just like I did these ones, I'm going to do it with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Now this technique of doing the top stitching with the decorative stitch, you could do this on the 5/8 inch seam allowance, 1/4 inch seam allowance, whichever you prefer. The reason I'm using 3/8 on my machine, the lightning bolt is a center needle position, and the edge of my presser foot, it's 3/8, so I use that to line up. And then when I designed this pattern, I kept that in mind, that I'll be using a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Now I'm going to top stitch this with the decorative stitch, like I did with the side panels. My fabric lined up here. Make sure my machine is on number 18. I don't bump the buttons again. 18 honeycomb stitch, stitch width of 7 millimeters, stitch length of 2.5 millimeters. I'm going to start the stitching with a little bit of lock stitching, not a lot. There we go. And the front crotch seam is done. This is the exterior. Try and get that in focus. This is the interior.